Leadership is about business impact, not just security. Showcase your composure under pressure. Showcase examples where you actually done that. How do you manage a crisis effectively, especially under a cyber attack? Your success is tied to your team. Articulate your philosophy on team building, talent development, and strategic hiring. You don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. You're not promoted because you are the best individual contributor. You're promoted because you can multiply the impact of others. The leaders of tomorrow are being chosen today. Most people think it takes a decade to become a security leader. I did it in 4 years, and then I landed a CISO role in just 90 days. Not because I had the most long list of certification or the longest resume, but because I understood what actually creates impact. And that's exactly what I'm going to share with you today. No gatekeeping, no fluff, just a real step-by-step process that gets the results. But let's just set the stage first. In 2025, the cybersecurity leadership job market is wildly dynamic. There are millions of job openings. So Cybersecurity Ventures predicts around 3.5 million unfilled positions by 2025. And many organizations now treat security as a core business function. Not all of them, but many are trying to and starting to do that. For example, Accenture reports cybersecurity is a part of the core transformation team in 53% of companies. At the same time, AI is changing the game. New roles like AI threat analyst, ML security engineer have emerged, and companies expect leaders who understand data and AI. Yet companies are also trimming down budgets. In an IC Square study, I think they found around 25% of cybersecurity departments saw layoffs in 2024. The bottom line is that demand for savvy security leaders is skyrocketing, but the path isn't what most people expect, because we're also seeing a lot of layoffs in 2025. So now let's look at some of the common mistakes that you might be making to crack a leadership interview before I share my 9-step framework to land your next leadership dream role. Here are some common challenges that I see. Challenge number 1. People are trying to do scattergun approach, spraying and praying. Applying online to hundreds of jobs is a losing game. Nearly every large company uses an application tracking system to screen resumes. In practice, a single job posting can get 250 plus applications and applicants, but only 4 to 6 people are typically invited to the interview. In fact, 88% of employers say they lose out on qualified candidates because resumes aren't ATS friendly. So what's the fix? Definitely gotta tailor your resume to each role. Use keywords from the job description that makes it ATS friendly, because ATS will literally score you on them. Stick to simple formatting, no fancy graphics or tables, and choose common fonts. Above all, try to get referrals from someone that's inside the organization or knows the hiring team, so you can bypass this ATS black box. But please don't ask for referrals just randomly. You must have worked with them, or there must be a reason of why they will give you a referral. It can't be just some random stranger that you just ask for a referral just because. And referred candidates are far more likely to get hired, because one study found 1 in 6 referral applicants were hired versus 7% of general applicants. Here's challenge number 2, right? People underestimate networking. Many good jobs are not even listed in the job listing websites. According to HubSpot, 85% of positions are filled through networking. And 70% of them, you won't even find them advertised anywhere at all. Instead of aimless applications, talk to people, attend security meetups or conferences, connect on LinkedIn and do international or informal interviews. Find out what challenges organizations are facing, especially in AI, cloud security, or whatever is your subject of expertise, or wherever you want to land your next security leadership role, and position yourself as someone who can solve them. In my career, one casual conversation at a local security meetup eventually led to speaking gigs and job offers. Networking helps you get your foot in the door before a position is even advertised. Here's challenge number 3. For CISO level roles, most people are not even aware of the compensation. That's important to know. What is the market value of the roles that you're applying to? Be aware that compensation can vary widely by domains and geography. The problem is, though, most companies still won't list a pay range upfront, which is sad. We'll cover salary transparency and how to negotiate all of that in one of the steps in my framework related to CISO negotiations and how to do it the right way. You have to know your worth though before you can ask for it at the right time in the interview. So here's the thing, everybody wants to be paid fair, but it is your job to negotiate and fight for yourself. Just do it in the right way, and we'll talk about it. So let's look at my 9-step framework to get and land your next dream security leadership role. You can also apply to any other types of role, to be honest, but this is more tailored towards security leadership roles because it talks a little bit about what the expectations really are. But you can definitely tailor it to all other types of roles in cybersecurity. So these tips may really be valuable for you for whatever role you want to land as your next dream role. So here's my 9-step framework and your blueprint for success. And I have used every step of this framework in my journey. So this is not something that I'm just talking about. I have walked the walk. These have worked for me. What changed everything for me and what I teach in my Security Leadership Masterclass, this systematic approach. It is this 9-step framework for nailing leadership interviews. So this isn't just about answering questions. It's about demonstrating you are the leader that they desperately need. You are the leader that can hit the ground running. You are the leader that can help the organization move the needle forward together with your team and other leaders. So let's break down this framework one step at a time. Step number 1, master your leadership DNA beyond the title. Now, this is foundational. True leadership isn't about title or salary. It's about who you are, how you inspire others, and most importantly, what value you bring to the table as a team. You need to understand your authentic leadership style. Are you a servant leader, a transformational leader, empathetic, or a combination of all of these, which is required in different situations? It's not about one or the other. Reflect on what qualities you genuinely have that encouraged and engaged your teams. What traits are truly needed in any situation? While you need to be listening, you also need to be able to show direction and guide your team to follow your vision in one direction. Identify your top 3 core values and in which situations, which one will be more empowering or outpowering the others, because that's what is needed in that situation. These core values will anchor your every answer, showing consistency and conviction, and not just some random decisions that you're making randomly and ad hoc. And here's the most important thing. Have a clear vision for how you will build and develop your team, how you will move the needle forward for the organization, how you will help achieve organization's mission, recognizing both your strengths and growth opportunities. This level of self-reflection and awareness, it is what separates you from the rest of the 99%. Your number 1 trait as a top 1% security leader is your ability to have a vision, to articulate clearly and inspire others through that vision, to tell your story around that vision, to implement that vision and repeat all of that over and over. That's what builds credibility and trust. Step number 2, build strategic intelligence beyond the obvious. Don't just skim the company website. Dive deep, understand their core market and strategic drivers, understand their specific security risks and opportunities, and how security can enable their business mission. This allows you to speak as a business leader, not just as a technical expert. Most importantly, this allows you to anchor your vision, your objectives, and your plan to your organization's mission and objectives, or to the mission and objective of the organization that you're applying for or that you're applying to. Every single AI and cyber program that I've built and implemented in all my CISO and leadership roles have been very clearly aligned to organization's strategic drivers, mission, and overall objectives. Every single time. Research the industry trends, whether it's empathetic leadership for healthcare, innovation for tech. Look at the teams that you're going to lead. Identify potential competency gaps and be ready to articulate how you would build and implement your strategy once you step into the role. This level of foresight is what companies truly are looking for and seeking in security leaders. Step number 3, craft your narrative with the power of STAR, S-T-A-R, and the business impact. Now, storytelling is indispensable. Master the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. But here's the key. Focus on the business impact of your actions. Don't just say, I managed a project. Say, I led a project that reduced operational costs by 15% within 6 months or whatever time frame it was, directly impacting the bottom line. Show how you took initiative, delegated effectively, and delivered tangible results together with the help of your team. My masterclass emphasizes the power of storytelling and effective communication because engaging the interviewer both logically and emotionally is crucial. You don't just show them what you have done, but how what you have done or will do in this role will have a tangible impact on the business. Your job is to visualize for them that impact, making it easy for them to choose you over others that you're competing with. That is the power of storytelling and visualization. Step number 4, the CISO mindset in prioritizing risk, opportunities, value, and business acumen. For security leadership, you're a business leader managing risks and helping them realize opportunities, not just a technical expert. Should you have basic understanding of how technology works? Absolutely. But will you be in the weeds all the time? No. Illustrate how you support the business by identifying both risks and opportunities and providing the business value in realizing the opportunities. Here's one thing I have learned through my CISO journey. Executives and boards are willing to take the risks they understand. Let me repeat that. They're willing to take the risks they understand. So it's about making the business feel secure, fostering confidence. How do you balance robust security or resilient security or resilience with business agility? Be ready to discuss scenarios where, for example, if a critical risk isn't prioritized by management due to cost pressures, and how you would advocate for it, and how would you prioritize it, and how it could be a business differentiator. Let me give you an example. That's exactly what I did when DORA, which is the Digital Operations Resilience Act, it came into the picture. I didn't just go in, oh, it's a risk if you're not compliant. I put forward a very clear business plan and a business case showing, one, what are the key changes that are required to make this investment in DORA compliance? 2, what potential business opportunities will this provide us if we make this investment as a company and organization? And 3, how big is the gap? So basically in terms of figures or providing them some tangible figures on how much money it will cost us to bridge the gap. That's how you gain buy-in, by the way. Positioning security as an enabler, not a policing function. Showcasing really what are the tangible outcomes that will come out of that investment that you're going to make and what exactly that investment is. A business case is a must that clearly showcases the ROI on the investment and what the investment will cost. My masterclass teaches that security leadership is like a tea. You are good at technical expertise, sure. You know and you understand that, but you also have a broad business acumen. You need to have both. You can't be constantly in the weeds. You need to also be strategic to have that oversight and understand and be able to talk and help and support other business leaders, C-suite, boards, etc. Step 5, influence and communicate through the language of leadership. Leadership is about influence and impact. Detailed approach to stakeholder management. How you keep internal and external stakeholders informed. Manage expectations and align them. 99% of the time, C-suite, business, or boards hear about security is when shit hits the fan. Change that. Show that you can change that. Communicate frequently about the vision, the plan, the progress, and how it is impacting the business positively, not just the issues and the problems. Showcase all of that in your interview, how you would do that. How do you translate highly technical information into comprehensible terms for non-tech audiences like the board or the C-suite? Provide examples of successful communication that you've done. Show discernment in your methods. When is the meeting necessary? And when can an issue be resolved more efficiently? So building trust across the business and cultivating a strong professional presence are foundational here if you want to land your next dream role in security leadership and become top 1%. Step number 6, navigating the storm through crisis, conflict, and tough decisions. Leaders face difficult situations all the time. Showcase your composure under pressure. Showcase examples where you've actually done that. How do you manage a crisis effectively, especially under a cyber attack? What actions are critical and what you should avoid? How you have managed that in previous situations. Here's where you need both empathy and strong decisiveness without panic. Know how to communicate in a crisis at all levels and in all directions. Keep everyone informed that needs to be informed with the level of information that they need to have. Not more, not less. It's not about sharing everything. It's about knowing who needs to know what, when, and how to manage a crisis in the most effective way. In the interview, give examples of tough decisions you've made regarding security protocols, balancing risks and benefits, showcasing making decisions for the investment that actually provided ROI to the business, and how you navigated these tough decisions. Demonstrate how you handled stressful situations by remaining calm, prioritizing, delegating, while still keeping the overall command and grasp on things. And crucially, how do you mediate disagreements or de-escalate situations with difficult individuals or stakeholders, offering empathetic solutions to avoid further escalations or avoid making a crisis situation any worse than it already is. You need to showcase these examples because that's what's expected of a true leader. Step 7. Building your A-team by leading people and building an inclusive culture. Your success is tied to your team. Articulate your philosophy on team building, talent development, and strategic hiring. Tell them what your vision looks like for that. Show how you will build and grow a team through your vision. How will you mentor and grow your teams? Build rapport with them and assemble a competent group of people to go together in one direction, one unified direction, so the teams are not pulling apart, but they're going together with you. Beyond recruitment, how do you motivate and manage disagreements? Set clear goals, encourage development. How do you do all of that? Explain how you maintain open communication, foster recognition, train and onboard managers to help them become leaders, not just to maximize productivity, but to build an A-team. For example, my one-to-ones with my team are always about them, their goals, their challenges, how I can help them, whether they are my direct reports or are in dotted line or in matrix organization or just people across the organization that want to have one-to-one with me. For security leaders, building a robust culture of no blame, transparency, and empathy across all employee levels is paramount. And I'll tell you one more thing. There is no security culture. It is culture. Whatever is the culture of your organization, that's what's going to go through. So if you want to have a really strong security culture, you want to actually make sure that the culture in your organization is great. And you can use security culture to influence that, but ultimately it's culture. You want to build a culture where people can make decisions and make mistakes while knowing how to hold themselves accountable. That's critical. That's the balance of actually the A-team, where they are empowered to make decisions, empowered to make mistakes. They know how to hold themselves accountable and how you as a leader hold yourself accountable, because ultimately you are accountable for your entire team. Step 8, interviewing the interviewer by asking strategic questions. Every interview is a two-way street. Your questions to them are as revealing as your answers. So my masterclass has a specific lesson on how to interview the interviewer to truly understand what matters in a leadership role. Why? Because if you don't interview the interviewer, you will miss all the red flags that you could have caught early on. I made that mistake once. And since then, I've used my own framework multiple times to reject companies and roles that weren't the right fit for me, where I knew there was just a title with no actual room for growth or even the opportunity to help grow the business. So prepare questions that go beyond basic information. Probe the company's specific challenges, strategic direction, team dynamics, and what success truly looks like from their perspective. Ask them, how would you know that you failed? Not just how would you know if you succeeded, but what if you failed? what considers that, and look for how they're going to answer that question. Ask what they look for in a team of peers. Ask them what they think this role needs to succeed in the organization. All these questions will help you reveal the red flags, and this also shows genuine interest, critical thinking, and nuanced understanding of the role's complexity and company's dynamics and culture. Step number 9, negotiating using my 5 C's outcome framework. The interview isn't over until you close the deal. But here's the thing, you don't get what you deserve or what you think you deserve, you get what you negotiate. Don't just blurt out what's the salary in the first 10 minutes of the interview, but do steer the conversation so you're not surprised later on. Research typical CISO salaries or security leadership role salaries on Glassdoor or industry reports for where the market really lies for these roles. And when appropriate, ask something like, can you share the salary band or salary range for this role? Because here's a secret no one's telling you. Every hiring manager, every talent acquisition person, every HR manager knows the salary range. That's basically the FTE budget they got for hiring someone in that role. No employer ever hires without a salary range approval. So while companies may not tell you right away, know that they know what the salary range is for that role. Also negotiate the whole package. Base, bonuses, equity, signing bonus, team size, your budget for your program. I negotiate all of these in my roles. Everything is negotiable and there's always room for negotiation. So use my 5 C's outcome framework as your guidance. Number 1, clarity on the value that you will bring to the table. You gotta provide value first before you ask for something. You can't negotiate without actually giving value. Number 2, credibility by showing how you have done it before. Bring real examples. Number 3, conceptualize how you will step in that role and what will be your game plan. Number 4, curiosity to find if they're also a good fit for you by asking the right questions at the right time. And 5, commitment to making an impact and what you will need to be successful in that role, because you can't do it alone. You have to be your own advocate. You are your best cheerleader. This final closing step turns an interview into an offer that you want. These are the lessons I wish I knew sooner. If I could go back and tell my younger self 3 things beyond this framework, it would be these. Lesson 1, leadership is about business impact, not just security. Security is not the goal. Your job isn't to eliminate all risk. It's to help the business take smart risks and to innovate securely and safely. In today's world especially, you also need to be able to think about how you're going to grow the business and move the needle forward for them. For example, in one of my CISO roles, when my CEO came to me about adopting AI, right, adopting new AI tools, I didn't just say no, that's risky, we're not going to do that. I said the new AI governance and emerging tech policy is already launching this week, and my team and I are already working on an AI strategy and governance for our first key AI use cases and running an AI pilot. That's leadership. That's commitment to supporting the business mission safely, securely, and ethically. Lesson 2, your personal brand matters, period. Here's the thing, mark it down. There are 3 doors to get to your dream role. Number 1, the front door, aka applying through job postings. Number 2, the back door, aka getting referred by someone internally who is in the organization or knows someone in the hiring team well. But number 3, that most people don't know about, the door you never knew existed, aka attracting opportunities to you through your personal brand, opening doors that you didn't even know existed. The ROI on building a personal brand is massive, even if it may not show up immediately, but the returns are great and exponential over time. It compounds over time. So start today. Speak at conferences, write articles, network actively online or in person, whatever suits you. You don't really need to be an extrovert. Work experience is crucial, but thought leadership and showing up consistently and sharing your opinions separates you from the rest of the 99%. One of my first speaking opportunities was just as a local security meetup. I think there were around 70, 80 people in the conference room. That talk led to a podcast interview, which led to consulting opportunities, which led to me speaking on massive stages for more than even 2,000 leaders at a time, all across the globe. And then landing my roles over the last 9 years because they came to me. Each and every one of them came to me. It all starts with one opinion, one thought leadership that you put out there. So start today. And in my accelerator program, I actually show you how you can start building your personal brand. Check it out at monicatalkcyber.com/accelerator. Lesson 3, the best leaders make their teams better, not just themselves. You're not promoted because you are the best individual contributor. You're promoted because you can multiply the impact of others. You cannot be a one-person security team. If you are, you need to find ways to grow, hire, and then eventually grow them into leaders. A cyber professional may use a tool and experience to manage 30,000 vulnerabilities or whatever, but a leader builds systems and grows their teams that scale. So look, cybersecurity field is obviously changing very fast, especially now with AI, right? While we're seeing massive layoffs in some areas, we also know that there are millions of unfilled jobs in cybersecurity. And while vibe coding is turning potentially everybody into a basic coder, it's also creating more insecure and unsafe code that's going into production and processing business data. So you'll need to secure billions of lines of new software code in 2025 and years to come. AI is reshaping everything. The leaders of tomorrow are being chosen today. You have two choices. You can keep adding certification to your resume and hope someone notices, or you can start thinking and acting like a leader right now. And by acting, I don't mean fake acting, but really behaving and encompassing the traits of a true leader. Here's what I want you to do. Before this video ends, think of one business problem in your organization that has a security component. Not a purely technical problem, a business problem. Then figure out who owns that problem, or who cares about that problem, and how you can help solve it. Talk to that person to get some more insight, what really their problem is. Don't pitch that you're an expert. Don't start with that. Go with curiosity to learn and ask the right questions. Because it's while doing things like these that you understand what true leadership is about, and which will also help you in your interviews. It's not about showing up as an expert. Make them feel heard and understood. Your job is to understand their business problem and how security could help them move the needle forward. That's your first step towards real leadership. If you want more insights like this, real talk about AI, cybersecurity, governance, AI governance, leadership, and building your personal brand, subscribe and hit the notification bell right away. I post new videos every week with actionable advice from someone who has actually done this, who has walked the walk. And if you're serious about fast-tracking your cybersecurity leadership journey or building and implementing AI for cyber leaders, check out my accelerator program and the dates for the next one in the description below. Or just check out at monicatalkcyber.com/accelerator. It's everything I wish I had when I started without any gatekeeping. I'll see you next time. This is Monica signing off.